Search parties have been mobilized for missing podcasters Buddha and the Beard. These huge planes taking off from Glencoe are on their way to support important efforts abroad. Countless troops are heading off who have no idea who these men are, and much less what a podcast is. But if the weather holds up, and someone happens to see a bearded man and his sidekick, perhaps they'll radio it in. Last seen swabbing the deck of the USS Brunswick, the two podcasters are now MIA. The world may never know what became of them.
You know, Glencoe had the big blimps. Mm-hmm. You could go visit and take tours. And I think when I was in grade school, we'd go out and look at the blimps. And I mean, that was a big, Glencoe was big.
My husband was stationed at Glencoe. In fact, my mother had 4 daughters. And all of us married sailors from Glencoe. And my mother used to say that she would have had 4 old maids on her hands if there had not been Glencoe. My husband was a technician on the blimp. In fact, he was stationed at Glencoe for a long time, not because he wanted to be. He was from Alabama, and he would I don't know much about it, but he said that every Friday he would go to captain's mass and put in to go anywhere the American flag flew. And he never went anywhere. He never even went across the Mason-Dixon line on orders. We would actually hitchhike to St. Simon's on Sunday afternoon after church. We went to Norwich Baptist Church, and we would walk right around the corner from church. And at that time, you were not afraid to get in the car and ride with somebody. You wouldn't do that now. But if we didn't get a ride in a few minutes, standing on the corner of Norwich and L, then we would walk on down L Street, closer to Hercules, and it's Glen Avenue now. I don't know if it was called Glen Avenue then. I think it was. And we'd stand there at the corner of Glen Avenue, and right there where Goodyear School is now, and hitchhike to St. Simon. That's the way I met my husband. Believe it or not, there was a beach on St. Simon's where the pier is. That they didn't have all those big rocks. There was grass and things. But my husband, like I say, was in the Navy at that time. He was not my husband, but there was a really, really big rock up on the grassy part above the beach, and he was sitting on that rock. And my sister said, "There's that red-haired sailor that I think's so cute." Well, she didn't get him, I did.